What's happening, gents? How are you, Jake?
Hey, Lockie, how you going?
Good, mate. Andy, how you going?
Hello.
Andy, Jake, James. James, good to see you, brother. What time is it overseas?
2:30.
In the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Mate, that is commitment. That is awesome. Are you a bit sleepy? We might put you back to sleep here.
Yeah, I'm sorry if part of my face looks ominously dark. I just had like some mood lighting put on the lamp on a sill.
Mate, that's all good. That's quality. Love it. Elijah,
Hello.
Man, it's my son. It's Tom Hogan. How you going?
How good, Tommy? Good, mate. It's always funny seeing people's Zoom names pop up and they're the wrong ones.
Well, COVID and my 7-year-old was using it for school, and I'm trying to work out on Zoom how to change the name.
Mate, it's perfect. We'll leave it. I actually don't know. If anyone knows, give Tom a hand on how to change it. If I don't. Oh, if you go, actually, I can rename you here.
Can you?
Yeah, gotcha. There it is.
Cool.
Boom.
Well, that'll work. Perfect. Awesome. Champion.
How is everyone going? Everyone's going well?
Good.
I'm well.
Good.
Any exciting things happening? It's already Wednesday. It's going so fast, but does anyone got any exciting news they want to share before we dive in? I'll just make sure that everyone's getting on. Who said they was going to go?
I have a job interview on Tuesday for a promotion, so to speak. So
nice.
Got a lot of study to do for that. So yeah, that'll be good.
Congrats, mate. And what's the job interview? What's the promotion?
So obviously Defence Force member. So at the moment I'm a enlisted sailor. I'm going to become a commissioned officer, so engineer. So yeah, pretty good.
Solid. That's awesome. Big Gardell, mate. I don't notice you when you're not wearing a trademark shirt, mate. Every time you're wearing the standard tradie shirt, it just doesn't suit you.
I just blend in.
Yeah.
Just blend in with the crowd, yeah.
Can you go change first before we get started? No, I'm kidding. I'll just
I can just get it off if you want.
Mate, that would be perfect. We're supposed to have 25, but we'll rip in. We'll respect everyone's time. We got here. We got 2 more dudes joining now. How crazy is it to think?
I think my audio's working now.
Gotcha, Joshy. How you doing, brother?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going really well. It's awesome to see that this many blokes are interested in hypnosis or visualization. I think it's fucking cool.
I was curious.
That's better. Now I can hear.
Yeah. Has anyone ever done, been through a hypnosis or a guided visualization or anything like that before?
No, never.
Yeah, a few people. Some haven't.
No.
Does anyone want to share what they are expecting to happen over the next sort of 15, 20 minutes? Be interested to get some ideas.
I've done a small one before after my accident, but I'm interested to see what you're going to do.
Yep. Anyone else?
No, I got no idea.
Let's just hope Thomas Crockett doesn't fall asleep. He's pretty good at fucking doing that.
Yeah, no, that usually happens in my meditation stuff, to be honest.
Well, hopefully I can be a bit more exciting than that. But, someone else is joining. Guys, so I want to give you a quick rundown, right? So something, I guess I was always this sort of bloke that didn't ever get into meditation, hypnosis, visualization, whatever you want to call it, because I thought it was for the people who lived down in Byron Bay, smoked a lot of pot, and did all that sort of stuff. But it wasn't until probably 3-4 years ago where mum sort of reminded me that when I was a young fella, and I was running at an elite level, she used to have me doing visualization, or back then she called it brain gym, where I was visualizing how I was going to run my races and all that sort of stuff. So I'd been actively doing it from about the age of 11 till probably close to 15, 16, without actually knowing. It was called brain gym to me back at that point. Then last year I went down to Sydney and did a 3-day, 5-day hypnotherapy course. So I was qualified in hypnotherapy. The only reason why I did it was because it was a part of my coaching program. It wouldn't have been something I would have elected to do, but having gone through it and did it, it was probably the 5 best days I had last year, just in regards to, it was like doing a 5-day meditation retreat. You just got to dump everything out of your brain and pretty much just sit there and understand yourself a bit more, which for some people is daunting. Some people it's a really exciting experience, and some people just find it quite odd, right? So it doesn't matter really where you fit into in regards to all of that. It's everyone's own experience, but that's, for me now, it's something that I utilize at least 3 to 4 times a week. And I've recorded my own for myself, which, if you have to listen to my voice all the time, it's not really the most motivating thing, but there are also like some great apps. There's one that I use called Brain Tap, which is literally designed by Dr. Patrick Porter, where it has visualizations for all aspects of your life, from, sales to depression to weight loss to having children, you name it, it's there. So it's really cool to go through that. And it has that like binaural beat background as well, which is supposed to hit like your gamma brainwave, so to keep you a bit focused. But I'm not going to be that tech savvy, and hopefully my music that I comes through pretty cool. But what I would encourage you guys before we jump in is just to have, I guess, space where you can sit comfortably. You're not going to get annoyed or disrupted. Or if you've got your phones on, definitely turn it on airplane mode. I'll do the same thing, just so you can sort of sit in the zone. It'll go for about 10-15 minutes. What have we got now? Some of you might think it's complete bullshit while you're doing it. Some of you might get emotional doing it. Whatever it is completely fine, right? Because it's supposed to take you on, I guess, a journey, and you're not getting hypnotized or anything like that. You'll just have the music. My voice will essentially become background noise, but I want you to allow your own mind to listen to what I'm saying, and then just create your own, I guess, mind map of what's going on, if that makes sense. Cool. Any questions at all?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking rip in. Keen as. Let's get your playlist on. So the one we're doing today is what I call the inner advisor. So it's you're going to be asking yourself for a bit of help. Cool. Let's rip in. Can you guys hear that music? So you can close your eyes now, gents. Sit up nice and tall. Just focus on your breath. So we just want to take in a nice big deep breath. I'll just mute everyone as well, just so we don't hear any stuff going on. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. So I want you to imagine yourself standing at the top of the beautiful white marble staircase. With every step that we take down, I want you to feel yourself becoming deeper, more relaxed, and controlling with your breath with every step. I want you to become more and more relaxed. So as you begin to descend down the staircase, you rest your hand on the smooth, cool marble banister that runs down alongside the staircase. You feel yourself going deeper and deeper down with each and every step. Deeper and deeper into relaxation and calmness. On the way down, you may see many things, perhaps beautiful colors, plants, maybe paintings on the walls, pictures of your favorite sports stars or even your family, or a wonderful view beyond the window above. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, you notice a door. It's a large, heavy oak door, and the door is closed. But there is someone special waiting for you in the room beyond. I don't know if you'll recognize this person or entity or not, but I do know that the person who is waiting for you can help you with problems you've been experiencing. So when you're ready, make your way over to the door, push it open, push the door open with your mind and walk through. Now you're in the room and perhaps it's a little dark in here. If so, just allow your eyes to become accustomed to the dark. And at the far side of this large room, you notice a table. Someone is sitting at the table, their back towards you. So at the moment you cannot see who is there, but you already have a feeling. You have a strong feeling inside that you know who this is. And you walk over to satisfy your curiosity. You walk closer, and as you do, you begin to recognize, slowly perhaps, who is there. Perhaps it's someone you know and love. If so, you can embrace. Perhaps it's a friend or someone who is not yet a friend, but will soon be. You can extend your arm and greet your mate. And if you have a question to ask your friend is here to provide you with a clue or maybe even a solution to that problem that you're currently having. Put your concern into words, ask your question carefully in your mind and wait for the answer. And the answer may come as a word or a feeling or a symbol. Perhaps a thought or an idea will spring to mind. Maybe now, maybe in a few moments, but I want you to wait and I want you to listen to the response. Your friend may give you a gift that holds a special meaning or may nod or shake their head. Just wait and listen. That's good. Now spend some time with your inner advisor, your mate, your guide, for he or she will always be here for you to help you, to guide you wherever you need it. All you need to do is go inside yourself and ask the question, then wait for the response. Just wait patiently and the answer will always come to you. Now it's time to bid your friend goodbye, remembering that he or she will always be there. We each have within ourselves our own storehouse of knowledge. We know more than we think we know, and you can trust yourself and feel wonderful. Relax, and just trust yourself and relax. I want you to leave the room for now, knowing too that you can come back here whenever you wish, or with the power of your own mind. All you need to do is just relax. As you walk out the room now, I want you to close the big oak door behind you. Looking forward as you start to walk back to the stairs, I want you to notice the big mirror to the left of you. Can you see the big bright white light coming from it? I want you to head over and check it out. If you look closely enough, you'll be able to see your 5-year-old self staring back at you with a huge, optimistic smile. I want you to take a moment now to share what you just learned from your advisor. I also want you to tell your 5-year-old self what you needed to hear at that age. Any tips, words of advice that you think would empower this 5-year-old self? And create what you want to create for yourself. So go on, take a moment now to pass on any advice, share anything that he needs to hear. And keep in mind that what you say now will impact the rest of his life. So make it count and fucking mean it. I want you to see that smile on your 5-year-old self's face get bigger and more confident as you get ready to wrap up the conversation. All right, you can hear someone calling at the top of the stairs. Now it's time to go. So ready, we're going to turn towards the stairs and start climbing back up. And then with every step that you take up, I want you to become more and more alert. Coming back to now. So with the count of 5, we'll be coming back to now. 5, becoming more awake. 4, 3, more and more alert. 2, and 1, wide awake. Come back to now. How was that, gents? For those of you who did your first visualization, you can unmute yourself. I don't even know who we got. Anyone want to share anything? What was it like? You hated it? You thought it was fucking weird? Enjoyed it?
Found it easy to,
What was that?
I found it easy to relax, to slow down.
Yep.
That was good.
The guard dog?
Not until you have a bit of time to yourself that you actually can sit back and reflect, and that's when things come to you, I find.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Fuck, I found myself talking to Shane Warne.
Did you? Mate, you didn't even cricket.
But then I worked it out, and I was like, "What the fuck did I see Shane Warne there?" It's because whenever people say like, "Who do you want to meet one day?" I always say Shane Warne. But then I started thinking about how he does so much. Like he's got his own gym label, he's got his own clothing label, he commentates all over the world, and that's because he gets other people to do shit for him. So that's what I sort of took from it, that I need to get more people to do stuff for me and stop doing so much myself. So yeah,
Ability. Like it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I saw, sorry.
No, you go.
I saw 3 people as I was visualizing, talking, and raising my questions and concerns. A different person answered each time.
Yep. Quality. What about you, Tobes? What were you saying?
I just found it a lot easier to sort of dial in, and like my mind races all the time and I'm skipping through things. My thoughts are always, flying
Yep.
to one to the next, but I just found it so much easier to relax and actually focus on the one thing for once. Like when I meditate, my mind is so hard to just focus on the one thing. It was so much easier to relax and just pick that one thing to.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, nice.
It felt a bit weird too.
What's that?
It felt a bit weird, just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just weird within myself. I haven't felt like that.
Yep. It's Tommy, you do a fair bit of visualization, don't you, mate?
Yeah,
What-
every night.
What's it been like for you? Because you do some pretty in-depth ones as well.
I think it's that talking to your 5-year-old self is quite a powerful moment, because you realize that talking to your 5-year-old self, you say all these wonderful things, but actually self-talk on a daily basis is nothing like you say to your 5-year-old self. So that moment where you realize that your 5-year-old self is you is quite empowering. And, you know, I do loads of different ones for different reasons, but in that visualization, then that was my sort of big takeaway from it.
Yep. And that's like, as I mentioned, gents, like you can do like, and Tobes, for a lot of the stuff that I do with meditation for myself, like a lot of the time I have to do guided stuff, because if I just sit there focusing on my breath, I get distracted. And I like to, I do it in the morning for 10 to 20 minutes. And I want to visualize things that I'm trying to improve in my life. So, and the reason why I recommend, Brain Tap, but, Tom, you listen to Joe Dispenza, there's all kinds of ones you just sort of, and you can find a heap on YouTube, gents, to find one specific to, I guess, what area of your life you're wanting to grow in, because it's about mind mapping. Like you think about, you want to drive to the Gold Coast from Brisbane, you'll put it in the deal. If you didn't know where it was from Brisbane, if you didn't know to get on the M1, you'd probably throw it in the GPS and have to work out how to get there, right? You get a path and you just trust the process. This is all essentially visualization is you're creating a mind map for yourself from how to get from one sort of thought process and understanding of the world to create one that you want to have. And the exciting thing about that is you can literally decide what it looks like. And, people, even myself, like, that sounds a bit fucking far-fetched and ridiculous, but because I've been doing it so much, like I've created a completely different life for myself just based around that, and consistently doing it, not just jumping on here once a week and doing that. It's a part of what I do every day, because I know as soon as I go outside, people are going to start to bring me down or steal my focus in all different aspects of my life, or work gets busy or shit happens, and I stop thinking about what I actually want. You know what I mean? So it's creating that. And so for me, rather than having to record my own voice a million times, even though I've written like 30 different scripts, I just, use YouTube or various other things and just put aside 10 to 20 minutes. For me, visualization's 20 minutes, and just get through that. And I've noticed, like Tommy said, you do those ones where you talk to your 5-year-old self. And I remember the first time I did that to myself, and it was like a slap in the face, because you realize that you are actually supposed to be talking to yourself in that way. We essentially are, but most of us don't do that on a daily basis. And, females are generally fucking pretty amazing at it, because they talk about what they want their life to look like, what they want their kids and their families and all that sort of stuff. And us blokes just go talk about the footy and various other things. We don't ever get in depth around, hands up here if you actually know a great deal about your mates' families who have, obviously, if you're at that age where your mates have, because I couldn't tell you the slightest. You know what I mean? Like we know a few things about our mates, but I guarantee a lot of us don't ask what our mates' goals are, what their family ambitions are, what they're working on, all that sort of stuff a lot of the time. And this sort of stuff is how we start creating that, because through conversation, through getting to talk about what we're creating, is just that reinforcing that belief about ourselves and the focus. Does that make sense, Jens?
Yeah, I felt very heavy during the whole thing. Like it was like there was a heavy weight on me that, I couldn't really concentrate. Like I'm trying to think back to my 5-year-old self, what I was doing when I was 5.
Yep. Can you remember what your 5-year-old self looks like?
Little chubby Ranger kid running around the streets of Terry Hills.
Yep. Yeah, because essentially it's just, you don't need to, you can, there's a thing called timeline therapy where you can go into all that sort of stuff. But, when you're looking at the visualization, don't try and allow your conscious mind to take over too much. It's allowing the guiding of the voice and your creative mind, so the unconscious, to actually create what's happening there for you. Because what we're doing right now, and why you guys are all listening to me consciously, you're making decisions, you're interpreting things in whatever which way, which is based off the experiences, belief systems, everything that you've created to this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But in order to change, in order to actually change something, we need to be working with the unconscious mind, which is why meditation, visualization, all that sort of stuff works, because you actually just let go of everything that's happening, right? You may feel comfortable, as you were saying, Tommy, feel heavy, but if you can just learn to switch off and it's just you're focusing on exactly what's happening in your mind, the conscious mind switches off and drowns out for a little moment, and you can actually think about what's really important to you and allow that creative mind that we all had when we were kids to come back.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did think, like, I spent, a little bit of time at the family farm in the southern tablelands of New South Wales, a little kid, there was a photo of me with a Massey Ferguson tractor and 3.5 foot, 4 foot of snow.
Yep.
That vision came through, and that was because I'm a country boy at heart.
Yep.
I think tractors, trucks, all that sort of stuff, that cool boy stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
quality. I like it.
Yeah. Trying to
I think you're onto it though, Lockie, especially when you're looking back to your 5-year-old self. I think Matt McConaughey, he does a really good one on YouTube. Someone asked him when he was a 25-year-old, he goes, someone asked him, goes, oh, how do you, what's your hero? Who's your hero? And I think he goes, my hero is my 30-year-old self. And he goes, all right, well, and then, all right, when I'm 30, what's my hero then? Oh, it's my 35-year-old self. What's my 30-year-old self going to tell to my 25-year-old self? And you actually, when you think about that, you're onto it 100%. When you're looking at your 5-year-old self, you go, like, as a 5-year-old, like, you've got the world's yours, you know what I mean? It's just like, where can I go? What am I going to do? And how are you going to do it? Like you're 100% right when you say that, Lockie. Like, you put yourself in 5 years' time. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to achieve? And then it puts you back into now and be like, this is what I got to do now, and these are the things that I've got to take on to be able to get to there in 5 years' time. If you know what I mean, yeah.
You're spot on with that. I did watch that Matthew McConaughey video myself, and that was a hard pill to swallow.
Can one of you boys share that to the group? Is that possible?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
I think it was an Oscar or something like that. I think Matt McConaughey was, I don't know, Josh. I don't know where it was. He come across somewhere, and I think it was an Oscar or something like that. He was a talk host, and that's what he was saying.
He's sitting outside with a group of people in the US somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was hard to watch, but it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing to put in. People spend a lot of time getting ready to get ready, and they don't take action, and they're in the same position year after year. And I'm super grateful for Tommy, because Tommy's the one who gave me what I needed, and ever since then it's just been, I fuck up and make a lot of bad decisions, but I still move forward a lot of the time, and I'm a completely different person now than I was 5 years ago. And I'm sure, hopefully, when I'm 35, I'm further along, closer to where I want to be, rather than just sort of sitting back. And I think, if we don't take moments, whether it's 10 minutes a day or a bit of time every week to think about what we want and start creating what that looks like. And as you said, like, working out what has to happen for you to get there, we're just walking blind. It's like trying to drive to fucking, I don't know, somewhere that we don't know without a map. Important to take time. But thank you guys for giving up the time. I know everyone's busy and got a heap on, but I wanted to do this. And next week, we've got a good mate of mine, Dan. He's an actual meditation teacher, so it'll be heaps better than how I do my visualizations, but he's doing my next week on meditation. So jump on that one. But appreciate you guys being members of the Man That Can Projects community. And whenever you guys have breakthroughs, challenges, or anything like that, please, or feel free to share them in the group, or even Stu or Josh, if you watch awesome links like that, share them in the group, because not only if you find it valuable, I'm sure plenty of the other lads will as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Does anyone have any questions before we jump off, or?
No, not really. I think I need to go and think a bit more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just one thing from me. Like, yeah, I think I follow you. I don't probably have a heap of interaction with the Man That Can group, but obviously I think the content is great. I follow you from a sort of a silent background, and obviously I reckon it's unbelievable what you're doing, mate. It's unreal, and getting guys, like whether everyone's in all sort of parts of their life, whether it's they're coming out of something or they're really really accelerating at something. Everyone's in that sort of thing, and it's when you're in that cycle, you sort of know where everyone else is in, you know what I mean? So, and I think that it's great that you've been able to bring everyone on board, and hopefully we can all help each other out in the long run, you know what I mean? So, no, I really appreciate it all, mate.
Thanks,
I'll second that.
Thanks, Tommy. Awesome, Jensen. James, also good effort getting up at 2:30 in the morning, mate. I hope you can get back to bed.
I had a long work weekend. I'll be good.
Yeah. All right, gents. We'll appreciate your time, hey, and we'll chat. Or for those who are in the circle, we'll see you tomorrow, Friday morning. For everyone else, we'll stay in touch.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lockie.
Awesome. Thanks, Lockie.